What is going on, everybody? It's Scott here with Monster Fish Supply. If you didn't see my last video, we had some newborn stingrays. I just want to take some time and show you guys how you actually care for them. I've seen plenty of videos on how you care for adult stingrays or sub-adult stingrays, but nobody talks about newborn stingrays because it's not a common thing, I guess, for people to breed stingrays at their house. So I want to take some time and show you guys how you actually go about that. The first and foremost, the most important thing is preparation, I guess, and being aware. If your stingray is pregnant, she is going to be massive on her backside. You'll know your stingray is gaining weight if you pay any sort of attention to them. You can actually see the babies kick, and I'll show you a video of that right now. So if you're lucky enough, you'll be able to confirm movement on your stingray. So the typical gestation period for a freshwater stingray is 120 days. If you don't know the exact date the ray got bred, like if you see no activity, typically you can go by when you see movement. Anywhere between 45 to 60 days is usually when you start seeing movement on the backside of the female. So if you don't see any movement yet, you either have just a fat, healthy ray or a ray that is under 45 days. If you see movement, you're anywhere from 45 plus days. The next thing is preparation. What to do when these stingrays are born. I like to put mine in these floating baskets. This one's actually completely full, I would say, with this girl's litter. So we're gonna prepare this girl's litter and make a second one. Alright, so let's knock out this preparation part. I got my tub here, I got my float noodle, I need to find some zip ties and a drill, and we are going to be ready for pups to be born. When it comes to making these floating baskets, there is no right or wrong way. Pretty much just drill some holes in it, the more the better, without being able to let the rays out. Or if you'd also like, you could buy a like a basket, like a plastic basket you would put your clothes in, and put the foam on that for it to float. That's what I used to do on my old tanks, but I liked how much flatter this was and the more the square footage of it. I'm pretty sure this girl's gonna have a big batch, so I want to give them as much space as I possibly can. Alright guys, so this container actually worked out quite perfect for this tank. It's just small enough with the floaties, I can still put a lid on there. It's going to be plenty of surface area for the batch of pups when they're born. Last thing I would do is add an air stone in here, get some water circulation going, because you can already see there's just stagnant floaties sitting on top of this. So yeah, that is preparation for the pup. So if you come in and you find some pups, it's pretty critical to get them out as quick as possible. But don't take them out of the parents' water. These guys, they're so large, they don't mean any harm, but they don't know their own strength. They do nip at the pups just because they're still monster fish. They're always hungry looking for food. Actually, one of these guys has a little bite on their underside. I noticed yesterday when I was taking them out. When they're first born, the tank might be a little cloudy, but don't go doing any large water changes right away. Keep it down to probably 10% water change, but more frequent, maybe once a day. These guys are extremely sensitive when they're first born. Any large changes or swings in water chemistry or water temperature, that can definitely be critical to these guys. I've seen people lose pups because of it. Alright, so what do we feed a newborn stingray? I like to give mine either mysis shrimp or frozen bloodworms. I prefer bloodworms. They're a little bit smaller. They have no problem chewing them and getting them down. Don't try and feed them for the first 48 hours. Most of the time they're born with a yolk sac as well, just a tiny one, and they're not going to eat until that thing's completely absorbed anyways. They're still getting all their nutrition from that. So it's just a waste of food, and you're just dirtying up the tank water anyways, so it's kind of pointless. This is what I feed my fish. I just grab a whole brick of the bloodworms. I usually get the cubes, but I knew I was having so many pups this time that cost-effective wise, it was just better to buy the whole brick of it. After about a month, they put on some size. They get used to putting down food. You can start chopping up some shrimp and tilapia and slowly introducing it, mixing it with the bloodworms. But I found usually I wait until about, like 3 to 4 weeks, because their mouth's just so small that and the tilapia and the shrimp's way tougher to break up than the bloodworms. This is probably way too much, but I don't know. Wait for these to thaw out. Just dump a little bit at a time and see what happens. Alright, today is actually day 2 after these pups were born, so we're gonna take some frozen bloodworms and try to feed these guys. See how it goes. Alright, let's see if these guys will eat first. Well, getting some action. There we go. Awesome. Look at him go. Already 2 days and he's already eaten. Oh, there goes the second one. And the third one's on the hunt. Alright. Those are what I like to call healthy pups, yeah. Absolute last resort. If you've tried everything, it's been 4 or 5 days, because usually within the 5th day, if they're not eating, something's probably wrong. Or I would check and make sure that yolk sac is all the way absorbed. If that's not absorbed, you're still in the clear, but if that's gone and they're still not eating, or at that point get live blackworms. Most local pet stores, well, I guess any reputable fish store usually has live blackworms available, but that's like absolute last resort. Like, you're worried the pup isn't gonna make it, because you don't want to get a captive bred fish used to eating live food right away. That's just a terrible, that's just going to be a terrible outcome long term. You're just going to be fighting to get them back onto frozen food. Alright guys, so it's not overly complicated to keep newborn stingrays. The biggest thing is just stability, finding them first thing in the morning, before the parents or anything else could possibly happen to them, and making sure they eat. Like I said, wait till that yolk sac's gone, and whatever you can do, live is the last resort. After about 30 days, you could probably acclimate them to a new tank. They should be stable enough at that point, especially if you already have them eating really well. There's no reason they can't go with another tank. Just don't add them with other fish right now. I'd wait till they're at least a couple months old. Yeah, you don't want them having to already be competing. Alright guys, keeping newborn pups, it's actually extremely simple. If you're actually one of the 1% that have done it before, good for you. It's an amazing accomplishment in this hobby. I love what I do. Thank you guys for watching, and please like and subscribe. I just want to throw this at the end. I didn't realize how dirty the front of my tank looked until I went to go edit this video. Don't worry, I promise I keep my rays in absolute pristine condition. Their water is crystal clear. Yeah. It's just a bacteria film on the front, guys.